Yesterday we discussed about this questionnaire, right? All this questionnaire, like what and all the things that normally we have to address in a framework. Okay, whenever you define a framework, things that have to be addressed manually. Okay. Now, we will start implementing each and every thing here, whatever that we are expecting, what kind of flexibility that we wanted. Then we will start implementing one by one. So consider the first point here. The application, whatever we are going to work, is a web-based application, and then this application runs on multiple browsers, not in one browser. Okay, so that means that sometimes I need to execute my scripts in a Chrome browser, or sometimes I need to execute in Internet Explorer, or sometimes I may need to execute in a Firefox browser, right? On different browsers that I need to execute. Then when you say we, it's not automation tester every time that we execute. Sometimes even the manual guy or a functional team may execute, on-site team may execute. So whenever you say how do we launch the browser? Just first, okay, let me start from create a folder. Just wait. I'll say framework. I will write all the scripts here. I will create a folder structure first. I'll just write a basic. Okay. So I need to run on different browsers and all. Then how do we launch the browser? That's the first thing. How do we launch a browser on application in case if it is web? There are various ways we have seen. Out of that, we can use system.run method, and then you specify chrome.exe, comma, you specify the URL here. enterprise.demo.rhrm.com. So you can write this method like this. Then when you write like this, in every script, it will run the Chrome browser. But the problem is tomorrow, in case if we need to run on a different browser, we have to open the script and then you do the modification here. Right? So that will be a problem again, because when you are an automation tester, you can do that. But even when you are an automation tester, if you want to do also, that's a time consuming point, because you have to open the script and you might have written a lot of scripts already. So you need to open one by one and then do the modification. So that will be a problem. Then in such cases, what we do is, okay, we should give some flexibility to everybody, whoever uses this automation. We should give some flexibility to change the browser or to select the required browser so easily, without spending much efforts. We have to think in that way. Then what's the easiest way for us? What kind of flexibility that we can provide? Then what we do here, instead of directly providing the Chrome here, the browser, not only this Chrome, any browser, instead of directly providing here, then we can think of various ways. One is, where it is the DFT, the framework. I will create a folder called configuration. I'll create a folder called configuration here. Under configuration, I'll create an environment variable file. And this should be an XML file. I'll say XML. Generally, environment variable file can be either XML or INI. There are two extensions it supports. Then I'm creating XML file, and then I'm creating the environment variables. Okay. So how do we create it? Say environment. It should start with environment, and should end with environment. Environment variable should start with environment and end with environment. And then structure will be like this. For every variable, use the tag called variable. For one variable tag will be used. The variable is nothing but an element here. For every variable, you have two childs. One is name, nothing but name of the variable, and name I will say browser type here is a name, right? And every browser will have, every variable will have something called value, name of the variable and value of the variable. I will specify Chrome here or any other browser, whatever you want to execute. Then save this. Sorry, it should be value. Save this. Okay. Then what I will do now is we need to load this environment variable in the script, in every script. How do we load that? Say environment dot load from file, give the absolute path. But again, we are hard coding the path here. But this path will be changing from system to system. It's not the same path we will be using. And we will be coming back to that, how we can manage the path. Okay. Then, so what we do now, str browser type equals to environment dot value of, you can say browser underscore type. So this is the variable, right, which we have created inside. Then based on whatever the value that we have mentioned there, under browser type variable in the XML, then script should launch a particular browser automatically. Then what we'll do is, we'll say select case str case of browser type. Select case str browser type, case Chrome, case Chrome. Then you can say str browser equals to chrome.exe. Set the str browser as chrome.exe. Case Firefox, str browser equals to Firefox.exe. Case else, if it is not Chrome, if it is not Firefox, and if you have any other browsers, you can specify case that browser type. And since we have only 3 browsers as of now, if it is not Chrome, if it is not Firefox, obviously it will be Internet Explorer. Then you can directly say case else str browser equals to, let's say, explore.exe. That is the process for Internet Explorer. Then you can specify, instead of giving here, specify this save browser. Right? Now, based on whatever that you have specified here in this file, then script will launch that particular browser. Now it is, I have mentioned as Chrome right there, and it should launch Internet Explorer. So it should launch it should launch Chrome browser, not Internet Explorer. It's launched Chrome browser now with the given URL. Because we mentioned Chrome there. Just let me do one thing. We don't need this. Every time go to tools, options. Okay. Now if you go here and change this, right click and edit, I will mention as IE, and if you run the script now, it should launch Internet Explorer. So you can see Internet Explorer has been launched with the given URL. So like this, you can change the browser anytime without modifying any script. But again, if somebody wants to execute a non-technical guy, changing this XML file also little difficult for them, right? Changing XML file also will be little difficult. But this is okay. This is giving some flexibility for you to change the browser type without modifying anything in the script. But still, it is a little difficult for a non-technical guy to update this. You still have to think more. Always see, as I told, that should be always improvement areas. All these are improvement areas. This is okay. Compare with other one, instead of directly providing the browser in the script, this will be a better approach. But better than this, you still have to think. What is the better? So now instead of asking them to change XML file and right click and go and type something there and all, if we can give some radio buttons there, I will give 3 radio buttons based on which browser that you want to execute. Just select that browser, script will automatically launch that browser. That will be so easy for them. Instead of removing value and typing new value, if they can select the value, that will be more easy for them. So that's the reason what we do is, okay, this kind of configuration like browsers, environments, all those, instead of doing from here, what we'll do, okay, we can use one more approach. So what we'll do is, we will create one more driver file now. So this driver file will be used to do this kind of configuration as well as to run the scripts as well. Okay, all the configurations and run the scripts. Then this driver file normally will be Excel macros. Okay, we'll be having Excel macros. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to write some Excel macro. Okay. So you should have a developer here to write the macro. So you don't have the developer option, right? So developer tab should come here. Okay. So go to Excel options. If you are using 2007 version, but otherwise if you are using 2010 or more, higher versions, you will get the options here only in the main menu. Okay, go to Excel options here. You can see, okay, show developer tab and ribbon. So in case if you don't have that, you come here and select. Okay, if it is already there, that is fine. So normally you can write macros or you can define all these radio buttons I told, right? From the developer tab only. You have a lot of controls and all here in the developer tab. And just remove the straight lines. Okay. Let me do one thing, simple way. I will merge this. It's not mandatory to merge and all, but let's just do it for. Okay. So what I'm doing is, now I'm creating some radio button here. Form controls. There are two things: form controls and ActiveX. Remember that ActiveX controls uses macros, Excel macros, whereas form controls use Visual Basic. Okay, it will launch Visual Basics, form controls. You can use either one for now. No, wait. Sorry, I just told wrong. ActiveX controls use Visual Basic, form controls use macros. Okay. So for now I will use macros, but we are going to use ActiveX controls also. I'm giving one. I just created one radio button now. I will say it as Pro. And let me create one more. I will give this as Internet Explorer. and I'll create one more. It as 5 parts. I mean, you can do stylings and all later, adjustments, all this. Now, based on the option that we select right here, user just opens this file, and based on the option that he selects, either he can select only one at a time. Then script should launch automatically. So this is easy for them, right? Instead of going and typing there, this will be very easy for them, right? To select anybody, you don't need to be a technical expertise to select these options. Then what I will do now is I will write some macros for this. Macros are like macros will be written VBA, Visual Basic for Application. If you know VB script, then macros will be very easy for you. It's like almost everything will be same. 80 to 90% will be same. VB script and VBA. Okay. So then to write the macros for these buttons, right click on the control, and can you see something called assign macro here? Click on assign macro. Then, so since there are no macros created as of now, okay, it is empty, and if there are any macros created already, it will display here. Then since it is a new macro, just give each macro is nothing but one sub procedure usually. It's a Chrome.click. That means for Chrome, I am creating this macro. Then if it is existing one, it will say update or modify. And since it is new one, you will get a new button here. As soon as you type a new name, it will give a new button. Then it's created a sub procedure there. Then what you can do is, let me know if you don't understand this. We have already seen this. OWSH equals to create object wscript.shell. You know what I am going to do now? OWSH dot environment of user, or you can have system also. You know what is meant by that? Environment of user, to create, to deal with the environment variables at system level. So the reason why I am going with the system variables here, or the environment variables at system level, because the settings what I do in the macro file, those settings need to be forwarded to true. So what we will do from this macro, we will update that setting in the update the value of the environment variable file. Sorry, not environment variable file. In the system environment variables, and by using tool, we will read the value from same variable. Okay. So environment.user of item of browser underscore type equals to, say, set it as chrome.exe if user selects chrome.exe. Now, usually whenever you are creating, right, it should be XLSM file. XLSM means macro enabled file. Select this one, macro enabled file now, and save under the location, configuration, or any place in the framework folder. Then you can say driver dot XLSM, it will create. Fine. Now create one more now. For this another macro, I underscore click. Say it as same thing. Actually, you can make WSH as global variable. You know what this does exactly? In case if the browser type variable is not there, it creates and updates the value. So we have seen this WSH. So it creates and updates the value. It creates the variable and updates the value in case if that variable is not there. If the variable is there, it will update the value. That's it. Then this is one, and the next is Firefox_click. Then you can say same thing you can paste here. Then Firefox.exe. I'll just click on now. Just change the back. Okay, pretty easy. Just to catch. Right. So go to the environment variable now. You don't have any browser type variable, right? You don't have any. Select Internet Explorer. Come here, environment variable. You can see it's created as iexplore.exe. Similarly, if you select Chrome, Chrome.exe, it's automatically updating. Then how my script will be now? Instead of this, set OWSH equals to create object wscript.shell. In my script, I am going to write like this, and then str browser type equals to OWSH dot environment of user dot item of what is the variable? Browser type. So in macro we are creating or updating it, and from script we are reading it. In case if you have not done any setting in the macro, that Excel macro file, that will be empty. Browser type will be empty. Or if that variable browser type variable is not created, it returns the empty value. Right? So in case if this variable is not, if the variable is there, it returns the value whatever is there inside that variable. If this variable is not there, it returns the empty value. So do one thing now. If str browser type equals to empty, if it returns empty, just say that reporter.report event make warning, just provide warning. Okay, select the or retrieve the browser type. Browser type. No browser type specified, hence default browser is set as Chrome. Something. Okay, in case if the user type is not specified any browser, then we will specify the browser type. Specify that. Now you specify str browser type here. Getting what I am saying here? Okay. So now do one thing. You select Internet Explorer and run the script. So launch Internet Explorer. You select Chrome. Let's launch the Chrome browser. Right? The existing browser was already there. Right? Easy to do the setting, right? So this is how we deal with multiple browsers. What I am saying? So this is the basic setting. So in case if your application is need to be executed in multiple browsers, different browsers, then okay, if you want to give the flexibility to select any browser that the user wants, then instead of creating one environment variable separately for the browser type and all, then you can easily update here, or you can easily select it. So you don't need to have any training on this, or you don't need to have any knowledge, technical knowledge to select that option, right? So tomorrow if somebody wants, we will share this driver file to everybody. If somebody wants to execute the scripts, then the precondition we do is from the driver you need to execute, and the first file I will specify like this, config. First you should go to the config sheet in that driver file and do all the appropriate settings. Okay. Next, what I need is, I might need to execute my script in multiple environments, different environments. So I need to execute in a dev environment, I need to execute in a QA environment, or I need to execute in a pre-production environment or staging environment like this. I have different environments available, and I need to execute my script in different environments. Okay, again what we do is, for every environment, credentials may change or credentials may be same, but URLs and all will be changing. Application URL will be changing from an environment to another environment. Then how easy we can maintain? See, whenever I need to run, okay, now I am selecting the browser easily, but when I want to run on a particular environment, then I need to change the URL, I need to change the credentials and all. But credentials might be same for execution to another execution. In such cases, what we do is, we are creating another environment variable here. Okay. So here what we will specify is, instead of giving the browser type, now we are handling the browser type through macro. Then what we will say, URL, sorry, first it is name variable, right? So first you say variable then name I'll say URL. I'm creating the URL variable. Assume we have enterprise.demo, professional.demo, open source.demo. Each one is an environment here. Each one is an environment. Then assume enterprise is for dev, professional QA, and open source is staging. Value is HTTP enterprise dot demo dot orange hrm live.com. Right? I have given like this. Now to launch the browser, what we specify here is, instead of specifying this, we are loading this environment variable file. Str URL equals to environment dot value of say URL. You know what I am doing? I am retrieving the URL from that environment variable file here. Okay, specify. So depends on the setting that you have done, it will launch that specific browser. Depends on the URL which you have given, it will load. That's what I have given, dev URL. Now I need to execute in QA. It will launch the enterprise now, but I need to execute in QA. What I should do? Again I have to go to XML and then I need to do the change. But for a non-technical guy, that will be difficult again to go and modify. Right? So in such cases, what we do is, instead of having one environment variable file, then what I will do is, I am creating multiple environment variable files. This time, this is for dev. One minute. Okay, so I'll say all three environment variable files will have the same parameters, but values will be varying, depends on the environment. Env dot, I'll say staging. Okay, then so for QA, what I will do, I will give professional. For staging, I will give okay. So what I'll do is, see, parameter name is same, environment value parameter name is same, but this file will be varying. If I load dev, then it will take dev URL. If I load QA, it will take QA URL. If I load staging file, then it will take staging URL. But how that file has to be loaded? Not all the files will be loaded every time. Then what I will do is, I'll just come here. So this time you can use ActiveX also, because this is one group and I'm going to create another group now. So this is VBA, Visual Basic, not macro that we write here, but Visual Basic also will be same almost. Right click, and this time instead of assign macro, you can give a properties. Caption you give as QA environment or test environment. Okay, and create one more option button here. Change properties. Caption you can change as dev environment. Then another one is staging. Right? So I'm just creating another set of radio groups here. You can just merge, and this is it's giving background colors and all, just optional, but only thing is make this more visible. That's it. Just group all of them. You can do the background color as anything. You can make it as transparent. All this is just an optional, only to make more user friendly, so that it will be easy for everybody to select. Then this time what I will do, view code, not a macro, this time it's a Visual Basic control, so you can see view code and then write it. Set OWSH equals to create object wscript dot shell OWSH dot environment of user dot item of environment type, or you can say just environment equal to QA. Then you will get all the radio buttons here. One more that you can say. In macro you don't get that. Visual Basic you will just get as an option here. Then this time you say it as dev. Okay, so you are setting that almost same thing that you are doing here. Then based on setting that whatever you do here, whatever the option that you select, remove the developer design mode. If you select this, you can see environment type has come here. If you select QA, has come here, right? Then now what you do is do it here only. str env name equal to OWSH dot environment of user dot item of environment type. Right? Then what you do is, if str environment name is empty, that means if user is not selected any environment, by default you set as QA. Getting what I am saying here? If user is not set any of the environment there, you set as QA. Then you can say reporter dot report event mic. Just provide a warning because user should be intimated, because it's setting a default. Script is setting the default here. Select environment to execute. No environment was set, hence default environment is selected as QA. Just you are providing that warning message. Then what you do now is select case environment name, in case of environment name, case QA load the QA file. Case dev environment dot load from file dev case staging the XML. So XML file, environment variable file will be loaded according to select whatever the environment that you have selected. Getting what I am saying now? So now my script need to be executed in Chrome browser and dev environment. Chrome browser and dev environment. So I have selected the option. Come here and run the script. And it should be Chrome browser and enterprise because that's a dev. Same thing, now I want to run in Chrome browser and QA environment. Select this option. It should be professional, right? Then I want to run in staging environment. One minute. It was closed before you can say open source. So you are able to easily say you can select the environment and easily you can select the browser. So this gives the flexibility, right? So this is why generally we use Excel macros and all in framework. Easy configuration. So now this point is addressed. How easy or flexible to run scripts on multiple browsers in different browsers. Our scripts are very much flexible, so no need to have any knowledge on the scripting to select a different browser. At the same time, then environment credentials will be changing URL and all. Then how easy to change? The second one also addressing now. Very easy. Anybody can select any browser and any environment, right? So that's one thing in the framework. All these questions need to be addressed. So tomorrow if you want to execute the scripts, then you just go there and then do the modification. Next, one more thing is here, your script location and all will be keep changing. Not the same location every time. Script locations and all will be keep changing. Then what should we do? Is this. So your scripts and all will be there not only in this location, right? See, I have hard coded everything here. I have hard coded everything here. But this location will be keep changing. It's not the same location every time. So what I need to do? What we will do is, you have two ways. You can directly get the path automatically, but I will come back to that again. So you can also you can get. But how we can get is very simple. Script is there, right? When you say environment.value of script dir, test dir, there is an environment variable is there, built-in environment variable is there. When you say test dir, then since this script is being executed, it will give this path completely. So if you split by using scripts folder here, then it will give the root path of the framework automatically, no matter wherever it is. But this framework folder will be common and this DUFT is there right now, that will be changing from system to system. So, but you will copy entire framework folder in every system. So if you split with the scripts folder, then it will give the path of that framework folder. So then, everything, if you want function libraries, it will be there inside this framework folder. If you want configuration, it will be there inside the framework folder. You can do that. I will come back to that again slowly. So we will see different approaches, not in one approach. Different solutions probably we may need to see. Okay. Then what we do is another one. Okay. What I'm doing here, I'm just saying framework location. So you can give the framework location folder here, wherever that scripts are there or wherever your framework is there. DUFT equals. But normally even we don't need to type. You can we will give. We are going to create one more button there. Just slowly. And when you click on that, file open dialog will be displayed. An open dialog. And you just need to select the folder. You just navigate and select the folder. That will be more easy than typing. Tomorrow if the path is changing, again you need to type. So when you are doing typing, then there are chances that people may do some spelling mistake or may give wrong path number. Okay. So we are going to give one open button here or select button. When you select that, it will display the folder structures. You can select the drive and you can select the folder. Based on the selection, path will be automatically generated. Okay, so slowly we will see, not now, one by one. Okay, so what I will do now is this one is there, right? What I am doing is this time framework root, but this need to be changed. But this should be changed according to the value that whatever we have placed here, right? So this is D, that means fourth column. First row, fourth column, whatever the value which is stored in first row, fourth column. So what we will do is, there we use Excel dot application, right, in VB script, but you can say this workbook, that means current workbook. Now, where in which workbook we are writing the macro, this workbook means it will take the current workbook. Dot active sheet, that means whatever the sheet is active. Dot cells of 1, 4 dot value. Str framework path equals to we set up this. Okay, then what you will do, you will just change the name as set folder. Okay, now if you click on this, framework path has been set. Then what you do is str root folder equals to owsh dot environment of user dot item of then framework path or folder. Is it folder? Framework root as framework underscore root. Then if generally this should be updated with value. If this is empty, then what you do? Reporter dot report event make fail, not warning, make fail this time because it can access any path whatever you want. Browser any okay default browser you can say. Environment default environment, but folder you cannot set default because that folder is not there now, right? Then now make fail says select the root folder of framework. Okay, so no path, no root path specified in environment variable. Please set the path and rerun. Getting what I am saying here? Then exit run. You can stop it because if the path is not selected, remaining files and all will not be loaded. Configuration cannot be done. And now set OFSO equals to create object scripting dot file system object. If OFSO dot folder exists of whatever the folder that you have given. If folder does not exist, else if you write. If it is empty, then stop the execution. If it is not empty, check for the folder. Okay. Then same thing you can say if else if not file a folder exists. Given root path does not exist in system, right? Given root path does not exist in the system. Please verify that you have selected a valid path and stop the execution. Else root path will be valid if the folder is exist, and if it is not empty, then that is valid. Okay, now instead of specifying this path everywhere, you can set up the path. So in case if somebody wants to change the path, or if they have downloaded the framework into a different folder and all, then they can just change the path. You don't need to change anything in this way, right? So this is more easy for us. Okay. Getting what I said here? So what you do now? This is for launching the browser, right? All this is launching the browser. If browser of name equals to orange href dot exist. See, again we are using the reporter.report event only, inbuilt reporting, but that has to be changed a little bit. I will come back to that again. Reporter.report event, we pass launch the browser. Browser has been launched. Else you can say reporter.report event it failed. Launch the browser. RHRF browser has not been launched. Unable to continue with the execution, etc. Right? What happened? Okay. Function launch application. So this is the application for launching the, this is the function for launching the application. It will take the environment and it will take the browser type automatically from the environment variable, and then we do it. So earlier we launched the application and that was just simple, but when it comes to the framework, to do more flexibility, to bring more reusability, we have to take care of all the conditions and we'll have to look at all the possibilities. So we have to do as much as friendly. So now the first two points are addressed, right? Again, this str root folder, now this function will be used everywhere, right? Not only in this particular script. So do one thing, instead of keeping that inside the action, creating a function library, keep it in one function library so that you can reuse it. How do you create a function library? Go to new function library, or you can create through a notepad also, or VBS if we have, right? We can do that from that as well. Create a folder here, say function libraries. Function libraries, and then you can say common functions. Okay, common functions dot VBS you can give. Right, you can do this. Then now when I do this str root folder, where I have defined this str root folder? Inside action, right? But how that will be passed here? It will not pass, because when you define a variable inside the action, that will not be passed inside the function in case if the function is loaded from external library. If the function is a local function for that action, it will pass. If the function is there inside the action only, created inside action only, it will pass. But now the function is placed in the library, but the str root folder is local to the action. But I will not be able to use that variable inside the function library. Then how do we do that? We will create one more function library called, we are going to use a lot of global variables like this. Then whatever WSH also and FSO and root folder, all this we are going to use externally. So what I am doing is now dim OWSH. I am defining those variables outside action in a function library. And if you associate this function library, these variables will become global. But you must have to assign, declare these variables outside all the functions in a library. And then this also we will see, instead of keeping this in every script, we can do here. That's it. So these things need to be executed globally. Before my action gets executed, this needs to be verified. Then what I will do now is, I will associate those libraries. But this also need to be changed a little bit. Okay, so this library files again, say I am hardcoding the path, right? But all this thing needs to be changed, but slowly one by one we will implement. Apply, say okay. Then now call launch application. Now, how my script will, if I run this, based on the settings, it should launch a specific browser. I have said open source there. Now I will change the setting. Okay, I need to execute in maybe a QA environment. Professional. Right? So that's how it works. Now that's your script. Simple. Settings and all will be automatically done. But earlier we have learned almost everything. I mean, how to get the environment variable file and all we have learned. Usually we have learned. But this is the real usage. All these things will be related in the paper. One or other topic, whatever we have learned, everything will be coming back with the real usage. Okay? But before that, what we need to do? We need to close all the existing browsers. Right? We need to close all the existing browsers. How do we do that? Set O browser equals to description.create O browser dot add Miklas okay property value as browser set O browser collection equals to desktop dot child objects of O browser. Then for I equals to 0 to O browser collection dot count minus 1 O browser collection of I dot close. That will close all the browsers. Then keep this as a function again. Function keep it in a common functions. But make sure that you provide proper information about each and every function. So do one thing, you can give as like at description, give at description. The reason what you mean by at description, I will tell you. This function will be used to close all the browsers. No arguments. Okay, so when you provide at description, right, what happens is you can see that information here. For user defined function also, normally whenever you are using inbuilt function and all, it will give syntax, all this information, right? So it will show that information like this. That's at description. You have to give at description. Comment, it should be commented, but just provide as at description. So that it will be easy for everybody to understand what that function does, or are we calling it right function or not. Then give a description for this also to launch the browser based on the settings done in a driver file. No arguments required. That will be the information. So it will close the existing browsers and then it will launch them. This is the main use of macros and all. We need to implement a lot of macros. Okay. So we'll stop here today.